Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's BG, and welcome back to the show where we're talking about big rigs because we're entering the big rig group build for 2025. And we've selected this guy here. This is the Canepa or Canepa. Not 100% sure how to pronounce that, but it's Bruce Canepa. He has a really awesome racing heritage and a sweet racing race car museum in the wonderful coastal hills of California, not too far from Santa Cruz. I've been there. It's an amazing place, and he's got some really cool stuff on display there, like this Petty Torino Cobra, or this really sweet little Javelin right here, and dozens of other things, and it's kind of a rotating deal also, and he sells exotic vehicles as well. It's just a mind-blowing experience. But the really cool thing is that you can go along a catwalk off the top floor and observe the work area where they're refurbishing all sorts of exotic vehicles. And on the far back wall, there's this cubby holes, literally cubby holes in the wall that store cars, not unlike a Hot Wheel carrying case. It's unreal. And if you ever get a chance to get out to that area of California, go check out his shop because it's just, you guys are going to love it. All right, so enough of that. This kit comes to us via our friend Tim Ryan. He had this for sale out of his stash, and I went ahead and pulled the trigger and got it because I wanted a kind of a fun, little bit more modern truck kit for the group build. But I'm a big fan of Bruce Canepa or Canepa, and yeah, this is just really sweet. So, taking a peek inside here. Two sets of instructions. There's actually part 1 and part 2. Lots going on in here. Now, if I remember correctly, is it this page? One of these two. So here's the building of the frame. You can tell it's a little worse for wear, but that just gives it some charm. And yeah, look at this. Looks like we have a lot of detail we can add to the interior of the sleeper cab. Plus a door we can build in an open position. That would be kind of handy. Let's see, lots going on here. High part count kit. And this is coming to us from 1990 is what the box art says. And then this here has a nice detailing of where the truck came from and the concept of the truck. And why Canepa was producing these. And I really have a feeling that this kind of changed the whole aspect of the aeroflow for a lot of big rigs. So, I mean, it's not, if you're on the road these days, you see a lot of aerodynamic kits on these trucks that look a lot like this. And I'm wondering if Canepa actually influenced that design. But this guy actually has an almanac on the back of all the parts and their part numbers, because this is again part of the vintage of kits that doesn't have part numbers on the sprues or the parts themselves. So the first thing we usually do on a situation like this is we sit down with a couple of markers and or highlighters, and we write the part number on each individual part as if we can, or the corresponding part of the tree, and then tick it off with a highlighter on the map so that we know that we've got that. And if we have any parts missing, we'll know right away. Or any type of problems with the part, perhaps, because this is a high part count kit for us. And I tell you what, doing that is an excellent way of getting to know a kit you're not familiar with. I've built several big rigs in the past, but I'm not a diesel mechanic. I don't have exposure to trucks all the time, so I'm, I still have questions here and there. Here are our dozens of wheels. These are in good shape, so that's good. And the bag's loud. We got some chrome parts still in the baggie. There we go. And then some chrome parts that aren't in the baggie. So we'll be going through all this stuff to make sure we're not missing anything. Looks like we got our fuel tank ends. Lots and lots of chrome wheel rims, chrome wheels themselves. What's cool about this kit is it actually has aerodynamic covers for the wheels. So we don't have to worry about having, extremely beautiful chrome for the wheels. More chrome parts there. Here is the cab and the front. So I'm guessing this is just a regular old Kenworth 600, I think it was. And they did some upgrades here and there, like a completely different hood, because this is all fiberglass, I believe. And because that does look like a regular old cab, doesn't it? And it'll have a couple of little extras added on here and there to make it look more swoopy and doopy. But yeah, that's that there. This is a baggie of parts that were kind of loose in the box. It looks like the engine has been glued together, but I don't think that's going to count. And a little bit of decalage. There we go. Bruce Canepa Transports. And apparently he was making race trailer. He made a race trailer for himself. And then somebody approached him for making a race trailer for them. And they he obliged and made them a race trailer, and that became like all the rage. Now, according to the literature that's in the kit, it was AJ Foyt, another one of my race time heroes, who had approached him and got the I think it was an all black truck, and it was like the hit of the show when they went out to Indy, if I remember correctly. But look at there, that's part of the aerodynamic packaging that they have for this guy here. Pretty sweet looking. And let's see, wheels and rims, brake drums, steering wheels, looks like center hub areas. I don't want to say caps, but, and then we have part of the aerodynamic shell that goes on the top of the truck. And now we have the interior of the cab and then the sleeper walls. Pretty straightforward stuff. No ejector pin marks in there. That's nice. Well, there's one, but it's actually pretty faded, so that's cool. And then our transparent pieces, which look like they might all be there. Put my hands underneath there so you can see those better. So there we go. There's that. I'll set that to the side. Oh, boy. There we go. All sorts of bracing stuff for the chassis. And I do love the fact that on these AMT kits, and possibly could have been originally an Ertl kit, that we get to actually build the frame. It's just a little bit nicer than just mud flaps, than just picking out a frame that's already put together. A little bit more involved. Oh, here's the aero caps for the wheels, and so we're going to probably do this in a white color. Oh, here's the bed. Anybody need to take a nap? I know I might. Oh, it's got a little locker underneath there too. That's cool. And then here's the doors that you can have positioned open. That's sweet. And the forward part of the sleeper area. Now this is going to be interesting. That looks like a superhero mask. It's going to be interesting stitching this all together, since we have to make our own little cube. This would potentially be the back wall. Yeah, that looks like it's the padding for the bunk area. And cool looking exhaust stuff. Perhaps this is more interior pieces here, so it's going to have like a fully detailed interior. So we need to do this with the doors open so you can see inside there. That would be the pass through from cab to sleeper area. That's the opposite side of the one we saw earlier. Everything looks like it's in pretty good shape, even though parts are off the trees. Little seat. That doesn't look like the operator seat, though, does it? No, I don't think it. Maybe it is. Maybe it's a more advanced looking seat. I'm not sure. CB radio. That's going to be handy. Let's see here. Our axles. And then the shaft that goes in between the axles. Oops, that's going to fall off there. More seats. These look like the stock seats that would come with the kit, and then perhaps the other seat was the upgraded seat. So here's our transmission. Big honking transmission. I'll bet that thing weighs a ton too. Suspension pieces. More frame support stuff. Frame support stuff. Yeah. Oh, these actually have part numbers on them too. Interesting. Maybe it's a newer part of the kit. Errant wheel. More frame support stuff. This could be probably suspension pieces here. We'll have to double check all that. More engine bits, looks like. Part of the differential, front axle. And we got here more exhaust stuff and front bumper fascia. Aerodynamic. And the frame pieces. Now, are they straight? Pretty near. As my grandfather would have said, pretty near. So that's good. I feel good about that. Got a good feeling about that. So there we go. That's going to be the truck in detail. We're going to get started on this here pretty darn soon, since we have the whole desk actually cleared off and ready to go. I got space, I got time, just need to get some paint. But we'll do monochromatic, it's hard to say, do a monochromatic paint job because that's how these things were designed to look. They wanted that Euro styling, 1990s. If you were around then you probably know about all the monochromatic type of stuff, the Eurochrome as they used to call it. But yeah, there we go. That's going to be it for the Big Red Group build. Thanks for tuning in. We hope you guys join in also. And we'll talk to you a little bit later on. Bye now.